It's Tuesday, April 23. In the headlines, schools reopen in Spanish Town following unrest. In business news, a survey shows a drop in remittances. Regionally, Guyana says improving cardiology services remain a top priority. In sports, cricket conference overview. This is the news on PBC Jamaica. I'm Simone Absalom Gale. The annual sectoral debates should begin inside Gordon House today when the House of Representatives meets. The leader of government business in the House usually opens the debate after the conclusion of the budget debate. Lawmakers took a break after the end of the budget debate on March 26, but had to rush back to Parliament on April 9 to pass an amendment to the Appropriations Act. The sectoral debate gives government members a chance to propose programs and projects within different sectors. Time is allotted for 2 sittings per week over a 6-week period. Based on the standing orders rules governing the Houses of Parliament, members are entitled to speak during these debates, and these members are any minister and any member of the opposition selected by the leader of the opposition. Before the leader of government business, Edmund Bartlett, opens the sectoral debate, though, members are expected to pay tribute to former clerk to the Houses, Valerie Curtis, who went on retirement on April 6. The newly appointed Acting Director of Public Prosecutions has a range of experience in the conduct of complex prosecutions in the Parish Court, Supreme Court, and Court of Appeal. Ms. Claudette Thompson will be in the job for 6 months, replacing incumbent Paula Llewellyn, who stepped away after the court ruled her extension as DPP last year was unconstitutional. Thompson is said to have been involved in prosecuting several high-profile prosecutions, including anti-gang cases such as the One Don faction and the recent prosecution and conviction of Uchance Wilson gangsters. Over the years, she has been head of the roster committee, head of the gun court unit, and being in charge of the home circuit administration unit. The police continue to maintain a strong presence in Spanish Town, St. Catherine, to ensure public order and continued safety of citizens following Friday's uprising in the aftermath of the police killing of alleged gangster Sheldon Lennox Walters, alias Termite. The PBCJ understands that schools, which closed their gates, had classes online on Monday due to the violent reaction. They're expected to be reopened today. Meanwhile, the police are warning bloggers and vloggers about the practice of posting erroneous content about the safety of Spanish Town and its environs. Officers from the Constabulary Communications Department voiced the warning during a virtual update on Monday.
This morning, we toured the Spanish Town area, visited the men and women who have been deployed. We realized that businesses are open. We realized that commuters are going to and from. The area is relatively normal at this time. There's nothing unusual at this time, and the general Spanish Town area is safe for persons to traverse at this time. The heightened security forces, the presence will continue, and we hope that persons understand that the security forces are definitely on the ground to maintain law and order, and we will continue for as long as it requires us to be here. We are just imploring persons to cooperate with us, and just to remind persons that Spanish Town is really open for business and it is safe to traverse at this time.
The University of Technology, Jamaica, in collaboration with 21st Century Education and the Ministry of Education and Youth, is poised to host the Future Ready International Conference from April 23 to April 26. Denita Rodney has the details.
A bulletin from the Ministry of Education and Youth highlighted the collaboration aims to establish a robust STEM or STEAM environment for students, emphasizing 21st century skills and talent development. Future Ready 2024 stands as a transformative experience and a leading advocate for empowering thought leaders, and according to President of the University of Technology, Dr. Kevin Brown, the conference will also enhance the country's human capacity building.
This exciting conference will enhance Jamaica's human capacity building to improve educational outcomes and to prepare our citizens for the needs of the global digital economy.
In his statement, he extended invitation to members of the conference's demographic to participate.
Educators, administrators, students, come learn more about STEM-based innovative best practices to revolutionize teaching and learning in our institution.
The conference will provide opportunities for education officers, principals, teachers, and students to share and learn from each other, as well as hear from top experts in the field of STEM or STEAM education. It is being held under the theme Global Competency for a Global Economy. For PBCJ News, I'm Denida Rodney.
The Natural History Museum of Jamaica, a division of the Institute of Jamaica, awarded several schools that participated in its Earth Day 2024 competition under the theme Planets versus Plastic. The event coincided with World Earth Day on April 22. The day engages around 1 billion people worldwide in activities aimed at addressing the climate crisis and fostering behavioral change to protect the environment. Jamaica's Earth Day 2024 competition invited children and youth aged 12 to 19 years, as well as students in grades 7 to 13, to participate in various creative categories, highlighting the importance of combating plastic pollution. The competition featured 3 distinct categories. In the poetry category, for students ages 12 to 14, participants were encouraged to submit original poems under the theme Plastic Madness. Third place went to Savannah Elliott of Knox Junior School. Second place, Deandra Campbell of Knox Junior School. First place went to Yatin Vanjani of York Castle High. In the open video category for all ages, individuals could submit a 1-minute video clip under the theme Be the Solution to Plastic Pollution. Makani Thompson took first place. Tony Shea Spencer from Montego Bay Community College was second, while Cedar Grove Academy's Nika White placed third. Kiara Balgrove of St. Andrew High School for Girls was the winner of the poster competition under the theme Planet versus Plastic. Which world would you rather? This category invited participants to create visually compelling posters that depict the contrast between a world without plastic pollution and one consumed by it. The photography category saw Shavini Williams coming first from Cedar Grove Academy. We take on a more communal look at healthy living. As part of the World Health Organization's Healthy Cities, the Global Urban Governance for Health and Well-being Initiative is working with cities around the world to strengthen participatory governance mechanisms. The initiative also provides city-to-city learnings and exchanges and aims to promote effective practices around the world to help empower urban leaders and enable local populations to reach their full potential. Here are 3 examples.
As we move well into the 21st century, rapid urbanization continues to transform the way we live, work, and interact with one another. To help these cities reach their full potential, good urban governance plays an essential role by ensuring that residents have equitable access to resources and commodities, and that there are mechanisms in place to allow for the active engagement of many stakeholders. The World Health Organization has identified several good examples of civic engagement practices and participatory frameworks in Switzerland, in which decisions are determined through the engagement of and dialogue between local communities and decision makers.
Vernier, c'est dans les 20 plus grandes villes en Suisse. Et aujourd'hui, on est presque à 40 000 habitants, très urbanisée et qui s'est développée de manière très rapide. Aujourd'hui, c'est une ville qui est très diversifiée dans sa population, diversifiée au niveau culturel, au niveau de la structure des âges, au niveau socio-économique aussi. À Vernier, très vite, les autorités se sont dit on a une responsabilité sur la qualité de vie, sur le vivre ensemble. Les contrats de quartier, c'est une idée qui est assez simple. Les objectifs des contrats de quartier, c'était tout premièrement mettre des habitants qui se connaissaient peut-être pas ou qui étaient en conflit ensemble. Ensuite, le deuxième objectif, c'était créer des liens entre ces habitants et la collectivité locale, l'administration. Aujourd'hui, après presque 20 ans de vie des contrats de quartier, on décompte à peu près 500 projets qui ont été soutenus. Vraiment, notre but ensemble, notre raison d'être collective, c'est de travailler pour le bien-être de tous.
Just 15 minutes away in the city of Geneva, local residents representing over 190 different nationalities voiced a need to create a space of their own where they could find community resources and gather safely in one place.
Time now for the Business Report with Denise Williams.
Good day, everyone, and thank you for joining us on the Business Report. I'm Denise Williams, your guide through the latest happenings in the world of business. There was a decline in the number of households that received remittances over the last 8 years. The latest Consumer Confidence Survey showed that only 27% of households said they were getting money from overseas. That's significantly below the high of 38% in 2016, but slightly up from the 26% recorded in 2022. Executive Chairman of Market Research Services Limited, Don Anderson, says this decline could have a negative effect on the purchasing power of many Jamaicans. He further quotes, "Very little of this goes towards anything except meeting daily household expenses," end quote. The latest Consumer Confidence Survey covers a period January to March 2024. Opposition leader Mark Golding warned of declining home ownership in Jamaica. Golding gave remarks through Senator Janice Allen at the Realtors Association of Jamaica's International Real Estate Conference and Homeowners Expo held at the Montego Bay Convention Center last week. Golding said data from the 2022 Voluntary National Review report of the 2030 Agenda and the SDGs showed that in 2019, over 100,000 fewer Jamaicans rented or lived in their own home than in 2007. The report also showed that 30% of households were either living rent-free with owner's consent or they were occupying premises without the legal owner's consent, which represent an increase of over 10% in comparison to the preceding decade. During trading on April 22, 2024, the top 3 advancing stocks covered the finance, media, and real estate on the Jamaica Stock Exchange. JMMB Group Limited, 9.5% shares, advanced by 15.75% for a 20-cent price increase to close at $1.47 with 16,793 shares traded. Radio Jamaica Limited shares advanced by 8.18% for a 9-cent increase in price to close at $1.19 with 5,148 shares traded. Epley Caribbean Property Fund Value Fund shares advanced by 7.56% for a $2.81 jump in price to close at $39.99 with 7 shares traded. On the declining stocks that traders experienced on April 22, 2024, the top 3 losers cover the utilities, energy, and food sector. Jamaica Public Service 7% shares declined by 15.12% for a $7.56 price decline to close at $42.44 with 11 shares traded. MPC Caribbean Clean Energy Limited JMD shares declined by 13.88% for a $13.05 price slide to close at $81 with 101 shares traded. Jamaican Teas Limited declined by 9.20% for a 23-cent downward movement to close at $2.27 with 363,876 shares traded. Over on the Twin Island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago Stock Exchange, trading on April 22, 2024, registered a volume of 172,892 shares, crossing the floor of the exchange valued at $2,102,839 Trinidad and Tobago dollars and 71 cents. JMMB Group Limited was the volume leader with 62,385 shares, changing hands for a value of 89,849 Trinidad and Tobago dollars and 45 cents, followed by Massey Holdings Limited with a volume of 39,050 shares being traded for 167,870 Trinidad and Tobago dollars and 97 cents. Moving from the money moves of investors, executives, and companies, we turn to the Forex market. On April 22, 2024, the Bank of Jamaica reported that US $81.2 million was bought from Forex traders, while US $71 million was sold to Forex traders. Buying directly from the Bank of Jamaica, foreign currency traders sold the US dollar for $156.09 and bought the US dollar for $155.08. The difference between the buy and sell rate was $1.01, which represents a profit for Forex traders for every US dollar traded. Canadian Forex traders earned a trading profit of $3.26 from transactions with the Bank of Jamaica. The Canadian dollar was sold at $114.50 and bought for $111.24. For traders looking at the British pound, they pocketed a profit of $2.13, selling it for $192.23 and buying it for $190.10. For our credit report tip of the day, when you tie the knot, your financial lives become intertwined. Your credit score can affect your spouse's ability to qualify for joint credit accounts such as loans or credit cards. A good credit score demonstrates financial responsibility and can facilitate smoother financial planning as a couple. It's a foundation for building trust and working together towards common goals. And with that, we wrap up today's business report. I'm Denise Williams. Appreciate your company. Stay well informed, stay ahead of the curve. Until our next update, take care.
In regional news, Guyana has seen substantive improvements in cardiology, which can be attributed to improvements in primary health care and government's investments in the health sector. And Minister of Health, Dr. Frank Anthony, says advancements will continue in the years ahead.
We are making advancements, but looking ahead, what is that we can think about? We have a major investment that we are making at Ogle, and we are building a modern maternal and pediatric hospital. That hospital would have 252 beds, and the majority of those beds would be for pediatric patients, so it would be a specialized pediatric hospital. We'll have a dedicated cardiac suite in that hospital where we'll be doing a lot of surgeries for children. We are also developing a level 5 hospital at New Amsterdam. We have already awarded a contract, and they have already started the preliminary works on the foundation. So 36 months from now, we should have a brand new New Amsterdam hospital. And among the things that would be offered, services that would be offered at the new hospital, would be new cardiac services, because we are putting in a new cardiac suite in that hospital. So we are building out additional capacity in the country, in the public sector. And as you heard, we are also going to add very soon a new cath lab at the Georgetown Public Hospital so that you can continue to do the good work that you've been doing. We also recognize that if we are going to be building all this capacity, that it's necessary to train people. And we have been opening up new collaborations with various partners. So we have signed an MOU with McMaster's, and over the next 3 to 4 years, we'll be able to send a number of persons to do fellowships at McMaster's.
St. Lucia stands to benefit from its decision to delay the signing of a regional MOA on CIP. That's a sentiment from Tourism Minister Dr. Ernest Hilaire following his return from Dubai.
Fresh off a recent trip from Dubai, where he addressed the Investment and Migration Forum on St. Lucia's Citizenship by Investment program, Tourism Minister Dr. Ernest Hilaire has returned home.
The question that has been asked over and over is why we did not sign the MOA, and the Prime Minister has addressed that issue, and I addressed it in Dubai, and I think my attaché will share with you the address that I delivered there, so you will see a comprehensive statement on it. But our position remains very clear, that St. Lucia, we believe, has the best structure, the best managed CIP in the region, and of course, we not us alone who thinks that, but other agencies rating CIPs rated St. Lucia very highly, which tells you about the confidence the international community has in our CIP. And that the provisions of the MOA, like we said, we support them. Our legislation of 2015, which established the CIP in St. Lucia, actually went further than the MOA and what it provides for. We differed on one issue, which was the immediate increase of the price to 200,000 K.
On Monday morning at the pre-cabinet press briefing, Tourism Minister Hilaire again took the opportunity to shed more light on St. Lucia's decision to hold off on signing the regional MOA.
Why we were not going to do it? Because the other islands have had an opportunity over the years to build numerous housing developments, to build schools, hospitals, health centers, community centers. They've been able to do it with their CIP. We've never done it in the past. This is the first time we've reached a point where we've introduced a new option, an infrastructure option. And we have signed agreements for 2 housing developments and for national infrastructural program. And we are also in discussion with a number of other investors who want to invest in the infrastructure of the country and the CIP. And we're saying, but wait, we're not going to start benefiting in a dramatic way. Why should we give it up? We're prepared to give it up, but not immediately. So give us a grandfather clause for what we've already signed. We can forego what we've not yet signed. But what we have already signed, we want to implement it. You've had a chance to implement it. Now, St. Lucia's national interest is our national interest, and we are elected as a government to protect the national interests of St. Lucia.
Energy Minister Stuart Young is refuting claims that Trinidad and Tobago is putting all its eggs in one basket with regards to the energy sector.
At the launch of NGC's energy maps on Monday, Mr. Young said he was obligated to respond to certain reports in the media where a false narrative has been created. Minister Young said NGC has played a crucial role in ensuring a secure future for TNT other than just the gas deals with Venezuela.
We have negotiated literally scores of contracts, NGC that is, with the petchem marketers and producers in ammonia, methanol, urea, UAN, in Point Lisas and in Point Fortin. That is a fact. That was done, that was completed. We have gone through 2 rounds of negotiations now. We have also worked very hard along with the upstream gas producers, the EOGs, the Woodsides, the BPs, the Shells, small amounts from Perenco, bringing on for the first time in decades at a commercial level onshore gas from Touchstone.
The restructuring of Atlantic LNG, he noted, was also a critical move that opens up many opportunities in the energy sector. Minister Young, meanwhile, responded to claims that the renewed U.S. sanctions on Venezuela would affect the Loran Manatee project.
So I saw one person come out this weekend for the first time venturing into the realm of energy, normally only talking in a certain sector of national security, and talk about the risks to the Manatee project of what happened with General License 44, the OFAC license last week. Absolutely no connection whatsoever. Manatee has been delinked. Manatee is a resource that is about 3 TCF of gas, and we are proceeding full speed ahead with Shell.
In sports, we open the innings with cricket. A symposium for strategic collaboration and innovation between CARICOM and Cricket West Indies will begin on Thursday, April 25 until Friday, April 26, 2024 at the Hyatt Regency, Trinidad. Here's a preview of what can be expected.
A flash from the past, from the World Cup win in 1975 to Sir Richie Richardson's famous century in 1995 to Brian Lara's most significant single in the history of Test cricket and the famous Remember the Name moment in 2016. These moments will live on as highs, but there have been more lows over the past 2 decades in West Indies cricket. As David Rudder's lyrics wrote, the rule came to an end. But there is hope, both on and off the field. Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago and Chairman of CARICOM's Prime Ministerial Subcommittee on Cricket, Dr. Keith Rowley, will be hosting a 2-day conference at the Hyatt Regency Trinidad in an effort to bring forth solutions to the trajectory of Windies cricket. The theme, Reinvigorating West Indies Cricket. This 2-day activity will include contributions from President of Cricket West Indies, Dr. Kishore Shallow, Prime Minister of Barbados, the Honourable Mia Motley, Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the Honourable Ralph Gonsalves, cricketing greats Brian Lara, Sir Andy Roberts, Michael Holding and Kieran Pollard. Current men's white ball coach Darren Sammy will also share his thoughts on what needs to be done, along with Windies women player Shakira Selman. Some of the topics to be discussed over the 2 days include the state of West Indies cricket, CWI Cricket and Performance Framework, the West Indies Players Association's perspective, and the business of cricket. This high-profile conference, hosted by the Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley, begins an overdue discussion with the ultimate goal to improve every aspect of the game that unites the Caribbean like nothing else.
And that's the news on PBCJ. You can follow us on our social media platforms at PBCJamaica. Thank you so much for watching.